Hello everyone, a lot of you have been asking for my Broken Rain Incursion guide for the Division 2, the new incursion that's just gone live. I am sorry it's took a few days, but we've been smashing this, and I do need to give you a disclaimer before we head into it, because this is not a how to complete the incursion guide in the sense of I'm going to be giving you the most efficient ways of doing this, because I've still got a lot of work to do on it. We are guaranteeing a flawless in our next stream on this. We're going to stream that for you, get our first flawless. However, still a lot of work to do before I do the complete guide. What this guide is a how we completed this new incursion guide. So I'm going to give you some tips, everything we've learned so far, to hopefully help you with your squads or help you with matchmaking or whatnot. So I've got some good tips that we've learned so far. You're waiting for this guide or my views and my tips and everything we've learned so far. So here it is. That's what we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is start the builds. Then we'll go through encounter by encounter. I've got different perspectives for you, and I'll give you as many tips as I can along the way to help you get your clear. And here we are, Broken Rain. I highly recommend you don't come here solo like I am now. You'll want a squad, you want builds. This is tough content. And a quick shout out to everybody that helped me the last few days, jumped in, helped me get the first clear and every clear after that, and figure out all these great tips to give out today. Thank you guys, you know who you are, you're all awesome. So let's have a look at the builds. Now here you see a DPS build and you can see prototype. Let's just clear the prototype situation up. All prototype gear is normalized in the incursion. Some people are not happy about that. If prototype worked, this would be very, very easy. It wouldn't be worth making the content. So yeah, it's normalized. It's just at its minimum values. No prototype is giving you any advantage in the incursion, so don't worry about that. Now, I do highly recommend for an incursion, you do get as highly powered as you can. You want to be powerful. So watch level 1000 is going to be very beneficial. And if you can get expertise 30 on your guns, that's an extra 30% damage, which is obviously very beneficial. I'm not saying you can't do the incursion without expertise 30 or without watch level 1000, but the lesser power you are, the more difficult it is going to be. So, you know, take it as you will. Now, the DPS build, this is what I was using. Loads of DPS builds will work. There could be tipping scales. There could be loads. I'm using Striker. We use 3 DPS throughout most of the incursion, and we use a healer. And I set up like this: 4-piece Striker, all crit damage. We have the Overdog's gloves and the Fox's prayer knee pads. Crit damage everywhere, crit damage mods. And the 2 primary weapons I'm going to be using, I go to Backfire because I like that, but then I'll also switch that out for the exotic St. Elmo's as well, depending on what role I'm doing and what's required. Now, the Backfire isn't needed, the Elmo's isn't needed, as long as you're comfortable with the weapon you are using and you're killing things, you're staying alive, whatever you want to use. I do have to give a huge shout to the Caduceus though. We have recently seen a huge benefit of using this on some encounters, and I will mention as we go along where I felt this has been used best. Yeah, it's a worthy shout. I've not used it in any gameplay that I've done in this clip and the perspectives I'm giving you, but in further completions and while we've been in the process of making this guide, we have brought this in and it has been a huge benefit. So Caduceus is definitely something you might want to look at with your squad. The more the better. So that's the DPS build. Again, however you want to do your DPS build. In terms of skills, Revive Hive is obviously going to be highly beneficial. You can see I've got a jammer pulse on here. That is going to be needed at some point, but decoys, jammer pulse, turrets, all these things can be used. We'll discuss as we go through the gameplay, what we're using and why as we go. Specialization on this build as well as gunner. You can use any specialization that you want though. And if you do have a quick step is an amazing primary to have. And on the last boss of this incursion, we use it to its full advantage. And on to the healer build. I haven't done a ton of thought on the healer build and how we can use this to best accomplish the goal of completing the incursion. However, this build will work. We've got some ideas in mind for the flawless run, and I'm hoping they work. So again, the further complete guide when we get there might have a different variation of how we run this and what we do and the changes like that. And in this gameplay, we do switch out the exotic, and I'll explain as we go now what we switch it to. But the build basically looks like this. You've probably seen this a million times. A 4-piece future initiative, mask, chest, holster, knees, all repair skills. Some people like skill haste, whatever you want. Got the Scorpio to debuff enemies and to give our DPS more damage against targets at times. The sledgehammer, or should I say the lefty, for sledgehammer as a secondary, so we can proc sledge maybe at times. Quick step, this is very handy as I've just mentioned. And the BTSU exotic gloves, this will enable you to do overcharges, refresh your team's hives and skills and things like that. The backpack, which is probably a lot of room here to change to what you want for any reason, like the talent or something else you want to use or whatnot. But yeah, I think Energize has been mentioned the last few days. That worked quite well. But I got the setup here, repair skills, skill haze, perfectly opportunistic, helps buff damage even more when I shoot an enemy with the shotgun. The skills, reinforcer hive, the chem launcher as well, reinforcer chem launcher, should I say restorer hive rather as well, and flame grenades. Specialization is the crossbow as it improves outgoing healing, so it just makes sense, and also gives you a little bit of protection from elites, which you can't back down from really. So yeah, what we do here is, depending on the encounter, we'll have the BTSU gloves on, but then what we might do is take off the BTSU gloves. Ideally you'll have something better than I've got. Look, this has got skill tier on and skill ace, repair skill, something like that. This is what I have. I throw that on, and the backpack, I'm going to throw on the birdie's backpack. To be fair, for the majority of this gameplay and this run and our incursion run, we're going to have this on for quick revives. If your team go down, you can pick them up fast. It's very OP. There is, I think, one encounter, the very final encounter, we'll swap the birdies out and throw on BTSU because we do that a little bit differently. But yeah, that's the healer build. And then one final build I'm going to show you is a build that I get one of the DPS to switch to on the final encounter. Now, this build is not made for this yet. It's something I use for solo master missions, and I put it on and it got a job done on the final encounter that just made it very easy. Now I'm going to remake a build for this. I've got something quite special in mind. I hope they'll make the final encounter very easy. It might not work though, but however, this build can definitely be amended for the final encounter. So yeah, this is just what I use in this gameplay footage though, and what it is a PFE build, and you'll see why when we get there with the gameplay why we use this. But you want as much survivability as you can through blue cores, protection from elites, and you just want to stay alive. And the last area is full of elites, so protection from elites, you're just not gonna die. I think there's one purple, there's a sniper, but everything else is elite. You can just tank damage constantly, and it enables you to do the mechanics so you can can focus on ad control and what they need to focus on. Takes the mechanics away from them, and it just makes things that bit much easier. Now, what I will do on the final encounter is I will swap out this piece. This is part of my normal build where I do solo master, the memento, and I'll throw on the birdie backpack. This is where the healer will take off their birdie backpack, and what they'll throw on is the BTSU gloves. So I'll be in charge of picking people up if people go down on the final encounter. But just the chill out mask with 2 PFE mods on, that's all that's important there, with the blue armor core. Palisade chest piece is the worst piece that could be on this build right now, but again, this is my solo master build. It wasn't built for this. You do want a blue core. You could go with Vanguard and give your team Vanguard. You could go with Unbreakable to give yourself even more survivability. You could take out this altogether, throw on tardigrade as well as the exotic chest to give your team survivability. Do what you want here. Most important thing for you though is the armor and the PFE mod. Then we have the 511 death grips. Again, not for this build. You'd want to swap this out for something else, but the most important thing is the armor there. Maybe even go improvised if you're looking for more PFE, but that can change. And then we do have improvised pieces. The improvised holster, I wouldn't want weapon damage here. I'd want a blue core and the protection from elites mod. And then the knee pads, I've got the blue core there and the protection from elites mod. Now you see lots of crits on there because it's my solo master build, but armor regen has a protection protection. All that is going to help on the final encounter, and if I could, I'd have those 2 roles as attributes. As for the skills, I've got my revive hive here, and I've got a shield. These are quite decent for the final encounter. I'd keep that as it was. Quick step, very, very good for the role you're going to be using this for. If you have the quick step, it'll make things much, much easier with what I'm going to advise you when we get there. And the other weapons, not really going to matter at all. You're not going to be shooting anything. But because I did have this set up with a little bit of damage, I was helping with ads a little bit with the Elmos, and I got the MK46 Frenzy there. Sharpshooter specialization is for the protection from elites. And I'll just show you what PFE we have on the build. It can go up to 80% cap, I believe, and I'm at the 80% cap. So let's talk about the first boss encounter. We're on to the gameplay now and giving you tips along the way. You're going to drop into the area. This is a very easy encounter, and what you're going to do when you first go in is just clear ads. The healer's going to sit at the back here, drop the hive, get the chem out, keep you healed. I've got the Elmos on right now, and we're just going to clear the ads. Now, once the ads are clear, you got to spawn the boss in. He'll cut down a tree, he'll come over this truck here, and what the DPS are going to do is get the shotguns on the lefties and just stack up their striker stacks. Once they've got a stack, they're going to run back to the back center of the area where we initially started. This is where the healer is going to be with the hive. Use decoys, throw them out to get the aggro from any snipers or any other ads, and we want to kite the boss into this area. Lester is with us now. He'll attach himself to one of you, so if you do have his eye and you've got his aggro, keep on barrel rolling, get out the way while the other DPS do some damage. Now at this point there is a pause from the ad control to when you can spawn the boss in. I did swap the Elmos out for the backfire here. The backfire is really, really powerful. If your 3 DPS have the backfire here, you get your backfire stacks up, you're going to take out Lester very, very quick. As you can see me doing some rolls there because I've now got the aggro. But once he's dead, all you've got to do then is clear up the ads and the encounter is done. Really easy. You'll notice I'm switching back to the Elmos for this point because I'm going to be a little bit careful. You can have a little bit of an onslaught of ads and you can wipe at this point. We've wiped twice at this point. So just be careful. Use the Elmos maybe. Don't rush too much and take your time. Once you're done with this, the encounter is over. The easiest part of the incursion. After the first boss, you're straight into escorting Patch, and this can be one of the most difficult parts of this incursion, I'm not gonna lie. You've got to run forward, all of you, as you leave the gate, and Patch will stay behind. It's a top tip, leave Patch behind. As you get more comfortable, though, do bring Patch with you because it makes it easier. But you've got to be efficient. If you're not efficient, Patch will die, you'll get a wipe. So while you're uncomfortable, leave Patch behind, just run away, make sure he stays up there, and clear the ads. Now, you want 1 DPS at this point to go over to the left. There's an APC, and your goal is to take the APC out as quick as possible. When you can do that efficiently, that's when I think about bringing Patch with you, because once that's gone, you can move forward quick. It's easy to bring, like I said. But for now, we're going to run up the top. Just be careful of these ads. These will keep spawning. But while these are spawning, just drop a decoy. The healer can throw a hive up here and try and keep you healed. But try and time it so when you kill the last ad up here, what you do is take out one of the weak spots of the APC. You'll see that I'm doing that now. I'm going to look down. I'm going to take out this weak spot. This is the hard to get weak spot. As soon as I've done that, I'm going to run back to my team that's on the right-hand side where the healer and the other 2 DPS are. So just going back a little bit, I'm now on another perspective. I am one of the DPS on the right side. There's going to be 2 of you. The healer will be sticking with you. So this is now the part just before the DPS goes up to the left. Now, we've just cleared the ads. The DPS will make their way over to the left now. And what we're going to do on the right side, we're going to keep on clearing the ads. Because we haven't brought Patch with us, they will keep spawning. They'll spawn about where I'm positioned now, as you can see, and they'll keep on spawning up on the top left until Patch moves so far. That's why when it's efficient, bringing Patch with you will make things a bit easier to stop the spots. But from this location where I am on the rock here, you can see one of the weak spots. You can see another spawn's just come in. It is a little bit annoying. We can see one of the weak spots, or even by this tree here, we can take out this weak spot. Make sure we are using the Elmos here because the backfire isn't going to do well at all. We're at far range, and you'll be there forever with the backfire. Just notice how difficult it can be, okay? Healer's going to be looking after you. There are 2 DPS here. Communicate with yourselves. Focus fire. A little bit more difficult in this gameplay because my DPS buddy's letting me to destroy the weak spot there so I can show you. But once that weak spot is gone, you just want to clear up on ads and push forward. Now, push as a team. Both DPS, both healer, you want to push down here, clear ads along the way. Hopefully, the left DPS gets their weak spot done and gets back with you ASAP around this point. Now, from this position, we can take out the next weak spot on the APC. The front's already been done from the DPS that went left. One more to go, and you can get it from this location here quite nicely. It's through the bush. You shoot through the bush, though, and once that's done, the APC will explode. Now, because we have left Patch at the back, what we're going to do as a team now is we're going to clear the ads that are around us. You'll notice that we've still got plenty around us. They're still spawning because Patch is all the way back there. But if you can do this efficiently, you can get that APC gone again. Remember, start bringing Patch with you. All these behind spawns will stop, making it much more easier. It's got to be efficient. So at this point, as a team, we're just running back to get Patch. Patch only moves when you have one of your team around him. So Buko's just getting there now. Patch will start moving. And the reason we all come back is because we don't want to be 2 split. If we're 2 split, then you're going to have downs, possible wipes. So just do it together. Start bringing Patch. Work on the ads together. And now you just want to keep on pushing forward with Patch, clearing ads as you go. So I've just moved forward a bit now, back to the area where we took out the NPC. And you'll see I'm back on the backfire as well in this gameplay. Backfire, St. Elmo's, both weapons are going to be good here. I love the backfire though, with the amount of damage you can get. And we're just going to play this through while we're transporting Patch. You can kind of see my position and whatnot. Now, I'm keeping an eye on the radar at all times because ads won't stop spawning until Patch gets to a certain location. And they might still spawn behind, so just bear that in mind. If an ad does spawn behind, focus it as a team, get it gone. We want to keep everything in front of us here. We don't want things behind us. And if we keep it like that, then Patch is okay. Don't worry about Patch being with you. Look at him, he's there, he's walking along. There's loads of ads, but we're taking them down quickly. We're just going to keep on killing them, working as a team, calling any ads out, and just watching and no respawns happen, whether they're behind us or at the side of us or anything like that. The last thing you want to do again is get sandwiched or caught. But eventually you'll get here to the drawbridge, and when you get to the drawbridge, this bit is quite easy. You just want to clear the ads, and our objective to get across the drawbridge here is to power a crane on. Once we powered the crane on, we can then interact with the crane to bring down the bridge. Ads will not stop until you've done this. You got Patch across the drawbridge and he's exploded on the door. At that point, you can then clear all the ads up and they'll stop spawning. I know I haven't shown you much healer gameplay yet, but as a healer, just keep people alive. Drop the hive on this bit, throw the hive ahead so people are walking into it. Use your chems to heal your squad, and you've got the birdie's backpack on, so people go down, you can pick them up very quickly. Heal them the best that you can. Like I said, the top tip I got about the hive is just to throw it forward so they're walking into it. Now, at this bit with the drawbridge, I do get our healer to go and hit the first switch. So at the minute, I'm just waiting for the right opportunity, and I think that's now. I'm just going to run down the left here, and the first switch is going to be inside of this door. So inside here, we're going to interact with the first switch. Once we've done that, I'm going to go back to my squad, keep them healed at the drawbridge while they take out the second switch and interact with the crane. So just skipping back to that gameplay, you can see we're just dealing with the ads first. It doesn't matter what DPS does this. Once the ads are clear, just make your way across. Ideally 2 of you, because ads are still spawning as we mentioned. But the second button, you're just going to jump up here. You can see the yellow tarp in front of us. We're going to jump over the yellow tarp, and the second switch is in here. We're going to interact with that switch. The power to the crane is now on, so we can make our way over to the crane Again, just prioritize any ads. There's no rush, no timer here. As long as the Warhound's health is good. You can see it's not even took a hit yet for us on this run. We'll come to the crane. We're going to hold this, and if you've got a backfire on, you'll notice that the bleed is annoying. It will stop you. But once you've held it, the crane will move. It's got the drawbridge, and now you can bring Patch across that drawbridge to blow open the door. And that's it for this section. I said at the start of it, it's one of the most difficult sections, and I stand by that. It really can be. Ideally, you want some real good shooters, real good ad control people to kill ads quickly. The better you do that, the easier this is. If you're struggling with that, you're going to struggle a lot on this. But they are all the tips that I have for you. You can see that Patch is about to explode, stand out the way of that, and the door's now open. This is where you can clear up on the rest of the ads, but it also takes you straight in to the next boss encounter. And normally what we'll do is just start that encounter. We'll run in and start it, clearing up the rest of the ads as we go. So, second boss encounter is the easiest boss encounter I've ever done in any raid or incursion, I think. And you just want to clear a few ads, and you want to get the boss to spawn. So we're still clearing up ads from the last encounter at the minute. Once you've done that, the boss will automatically spawn once you're all in this area. It will have a countdown if people are still outside or whatnot, and will drag people in. Once it's started, you'll notice there are 2 rocket turrets. They are going to fire rockets at you, but this position where we are as a team here, inside the healing hive, they're really not much of an issue. You've got some good cover from them. You might get hit, but the healer's got the birdie's backpack on. They can pick you up quick if needed, so don't worry about it. Focus on killing all the ads if you can see them, and you want to kill any of the big tanks that are not the boss. The boss is Drake. Now, once you get all of the ads gone, you got all the chungus gone, you want to focus Dwayne. However, he has got an invincible shield. However, his back is his weak spot. He takes a ton of damage on his back. So what you want to do is with your team now is kind of work it so you can kite him to one of you, so he's showing his back to the other. The side of him will take little bits of damage, as you can just see on screen now. Very, very little. 100k crits. However, if you can get right at his back, I'm just throwing a decoy out now, so he turns to look at my decoy. That sometimes works. You can shoot directly his back, and that's where you get mega damage. So that's all you're trying to do here. Throw your decoys out so he turns around. You can do that, or you can kite him off friends and just get like either side of him. But look how quick he just died. Very, very easy. I've got no more gameplay footage to show you really of this, because it's a case of just being in position behind that van and shooting him in the back until he dies. Once you've done that, this second boss encounter is over. And now we are on what I am calling the most difficult encounter of the incursion. Some people think the last one's more difficult, but with the tips I'm going to give you, I don't think it is. Now, I'm going to show you all perspectives in here at some point in this gameplay. You can see I just hit a valve there. This is going to start the encounter, and I'm going to take the right position. So this is the right. We're going to walk along. We're going to work along all this walkway here, keeping the ads away from us and not flanking us. So I'm on the right here, and my job throughout the whole of this is to clear any ads that spawn on the right. Also get sights over to the left and help out with the left if I can. But yeah, just shoot any ad I can kill. Now, killing ads, I wouldn't say is the most important thing here. Staying alive is. You don't want to be taking downs, making your healer with the birdie's backpack moving too much and picking you up. So if ads are contained and they're managed, that's fine. As long as they're not killing you, all is good. Apart from snipers, snipers do need to go. 1, they will hurt a lot, but 2, I think they progress the encounter. If you don't kill the snipers, not too sure on this, but the encounter won't progress with the enemy spawning. You'll be waiting forever for the boss to spawn. So kill the snipers, kill any ad that you see from here, throw your decoy out to help, blind fire if you need to if they start pushing on the right, and just watch your left flank in case someone does try and flank you from the left. That's pretty much all you're going to be doing here at the start, and you will be taking part in the mechanics as well, but we'll show you that in a moment. And what I want to do now is show you where the healer is. Right at the start of the encounter, the healer is going to place out their restorer hive, and where I like to put it is on the left side with the 2 people on the left, because we have 2 DPS on the left, so I think that can heal both of them, and I keep an eye on the guy on the right with my chem launcher. I throw the Restorer Hive just in that spot there, because that's where they're going to be keeping cover for the most part. I've got chems for myself if needed, and like I said, for the person on the right. Now here's the mechanics. You'll notice one screen here is critical, T3, and I've just hit it. When I hit that, the person has to hit the valve on the right side from here. There's one valve there, there's one valve on the left, on the bottom floor. And once he hits that, we keep everything stable and the encounter starts, but it'll tell us something else has gone critical. I've got to call that out. You can't see as well in front with the red lights which one needs to be done, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. But if it's ever 1 and 2, the valve on the left needs to be hit. If it's ever 3 or 4, the valve on the right. When they hit that, you also have to hit the switch in here. It doesn't matter who hits it first, but once it's been hit, there's a small window to hit the other. So just make sure you communicate and make sure they're getting hit close together. And if you take too long to hit any at all, you will fail. There'll be a critical failure, and it is a wipe mechanic. As you have more of them, eventually you will wipe. You got 4 chances, but the encounter gets harder the more that you lose. You want to keep this mechanic going all the way through until the boss is dead. Try not to fail 1. That's the aim here. Now, you can see I'm just healing to the right there, and we're just keeping an eye on these screens as the healer. It's pretty much our job. We're calling it out. They're letting us know they've got the valve. We're hitting the switch. We're keeping everything stable. Now, the left side DPS. This is going to be a little bit more extended gameplay here, because one of you is just ad control in a way, but the other one of you has to wear the jammer pulse. So you can see I've got jammer pulse on this character. I've got a little bit more work to do. But as the left side ad, what we're going to do, or as the left side like ad control, what we're going to do is come over to the left here. The hive is going to be with us, like I said, and we're going to clear ads. Now, anywhere around this location is okay, but this spot here is probably the best because it breaks line of sight with the snipers on the right. Just gives the person on the right time to kill the snipers without the snipers killing you. Keeps you on your feet. So I'll work from this pillar to stop the left flank, and we'll also work from just this position here. Now on this run, my teammate wasn't with me. I did advise them to be with me. It's much safer here, but they didn't want to be. But I'd strongly advise both people are basically in this position, again, because of the snipers. The snipers on the right will kill you if you go too much forward on the walkway, like in front of the control room or anything like that. You could get hit by snipers on the left and the right. So this pillar here is perfect. Just the right to me is perfect. You have cover from snipers. You might just you're just fine. You might just feel like you're not doing much, but again, what I said earlier, if the ads are managed and they're not causing you any harm, you are winning. Okay, not about killing them, it's about keeping everything managed at this point, because all we want to do really is kill the boss. Once the boss is dead, we can clear up and we're done. That's essentially it. Now, we'll go through the encounter now, and I'm going to show you the biggest part of the encounter, the biggest mechanic where we do boss damage. We're going to continue watching this gameplay. Hopefully, I'll get you some switches in as well, or I'll just show you that at the end. But while I'm doing this, what I just mentioned about the control room, these numbers are getting called out. If T1 or T2 gets called out, me or the DPS on the left here have to go and get it. If T3 or T4 gets called out, the person on the right is going to hit that valve. This is all happening while we do this, and once we've killed enough ads, what's going to happen is the boss is going to spawn. So what I will do is just skip forward a little bit for when the boss spawns. So here we go. The boss is spawning in now, and you'll see the health bar appear and like an electric bar also. There's 4 segments of boss damage that you need to do, and it's actually quite easy if you keep everything maintained. Keep the white mechanic maintained, keep the ads maintained, and just don't let the boss know you. The boss is going, you can see that the electric bar there is going down, and the boss will come close to you, and if they electrocute you, will refill. So don't let them get close, don't give them a free refill, because once it gets down to about 1/3 of the way, the boss is going to go to one of the pylons over there to get the energy back. She's running there now. Look, when I noticed that, someone just called out the valve, so I quickly hit it there. So I just quickly hit the left valve, so it's called out. I let them know. I'm going to jam the boss who's getting the recharge. Big window to do that. Now, once that's done, you've got all the time in the world to do the boss damage. You can see the 4 stages there at the top of the screen now. You can see how quick it's coming down when I shoot the boss. So ads is still the priority here. You'll notice I got straight back to my position, and while I did that, I got the boss's health down. We're now on the electric again, and we're going to rinse and repeat 3 more times. It's as easy as that. The fight doesn't really progressively get any worse than that unless you start failing some of the white mechanic. Like I say, you got 4 chances. If you take 1 chance, if you take 2 chances, what will happen is there'll be electric placed on the floor, like where she is now, and it'll just be harder to maneuver and stuff. So when you're trying to get your valves, so ideally you don't want to fail any of them. And it is worth noticing when you go to jam her, if you do miss, if you don't jam her in time, that will automatically count as a fail, and there's nothing you can do about it. So if you don't jam her 4 times, you're done. It's a wipe. And on top of that as well, with the mechanic with the switches, sometimes it can double up, because where she goes to get a recharge, it will also set an alarm off in the control room. So let me explain that. She's going to this pylon again up here. I've just seen her run through it about the same time again. We're going to go and try and get our jammer on her. But while she's doing that, there's going to be an alarm going off, so one of the switches have to be done. That can happen at the same time as another alarm going off, which means 2 switches being done. So look out for that. If there are 2 that need to be done and they're both separate, like 1, 2, and 3, 4, both switches need doing. But if they're like 1 and 2, then the 1 switch will count for both. Now, I missed her then. Okay, I did not get to her in time. I got shocked, as you've seen, and I missed her. So that's what I mean about if you don't jam her in time, we have just done a fail, which means we've used one of our lives. So now things are a little bit more difficult. If I got to her and I jammed her, we would have been able to do damage again and do the second damage bar on her health bar. So we're just going to continue now. What I'm doing is the person as the jammer. I'm just going to be running around. I'm going to be watching that. She must have just shocked someone because it just came up a little bit. That's what I mean by not letting her get close. But I'm just keeping an eye on that now. I now know we failed one, so I definitely don't want to fail the next one. So it's got to keep on going down. I'll show you this one in full, and then we'll skip to the final one. Now, she's making a move to the next pylon to go and get her energy back or electric back. I've got shocked again, but don't worry, we get it this time. I'm going to jam her while she's on there. There's a big window, and it's gone. We're back to now. We can just get back to position. Take our time, there's no rush or anything, and we can do that boss damage to take her halfway. And that's what we're doing. We're just going to go and do that. I'll skip ahead now. I think I've explained everything I can pretty much about what we're doing here. I guess I should also mention at this point, because people are going to mention it in the comments, why do all this? You could just kill her super quick with Negotiator Dilemma. You can. It is cheese though. We had a big discussion about what cheese means, and I'm not trying to put anyone down if they want to do it like that at all. It's cheese though. You skip mechanics. So I will tell you about it. What you can do rather than do all this and do the mechanics and learn what the developers have created for you to challenge you. If you come in with Negotiated Dilemma builds, when the boss spawns, you can get a crit on the boss, and then you can shoot the ads and the health will go down with Negotiated Dilemma, even without bringing that electricity bar away. So you can basically kill her without doing the mechanics at all. I say don't bother. I say get good at this, learn the mechanics, because it's a good challenge and anybody can do it. So far in this gameplay of this boss fight, you can see it's been a bit rough. When we were recording this, we switched people around, new positions, things like that. So I do apologize, but I do think I got everything I needed to say out there. You can see I'm just doing the last pulse now on the last final bar of health, and we're done. We're done after this. All we're going to do is kill her. So I just go back to position like I've kept on doing every time. Jen's just coming back up there because she hit a switch for me. The 2 people on the left communicate because I've got the jammer. If I'm running with the jammer to the boss and the left switch goes off and we need to hit it, Jen will go and do it for me. So just communicate that. But while I'm not busy, I can do it also. You're working together as a team, and Jen's here with me now on this run as well, which is brilliant. It's the best place to be. Now, when the boss does push you, by the way, you do need to move. Like I said, you can run down the stairs, run in circles, you'll be fine. But she's dead now. Once she's dead, all you've got to do is clear the room of the ads. Once you've done that, you're finished. And big GG's. If you've done this without the cheese, you deserve a pat on the back for learning it, because it's definitely a hard one. And yeah, once you've done it once, you'll do it every time now. And now we are on to the final boss. There are bits before this with ads, but you'll be absolutely fine with that. You don't need a guide. If you got this far, you can kill some ads. Notice how this gameplay now, I'm getting the credentials from the screen. This is an important part of the first mechanic. You've got 30 odd seconds to get to the other end of the dam. Now I get one of the DPS to get the credentials there, but they switch to the PFE build as shown earlier on in the video. Your role for this encounter is the mechanics, so the other two DPS can focus on ads and getting the boss dead. That's what they're going to be doing, and the healer will be keeping everyone alive. Now, I run all the way to the end of the dam. I come in here, and as long as I'm within time, I can access the credentials, and we can start hitting buttons. So we'll run back out, and we'll be able to hit one button. Now, button number 1, just outside this door. We can go, we can hit this button. That's 1 out of 3 in the top left hand of the corner. This is quite easy as long as the other two DPS are killing ads, the healer's chucking your chems, and you're just not getting aggravated by the purple sniper or any other purple ad. You're pretty much invincible. Now, we'll go back to the start where we started this encounter to get the credentials. We're going to hit it again. And again, we've got that timer. It's just over 40 seconds, sorry, to get to the other side. Without a quick step, can you do this? Yes, but a quick step makes it a ton easier. And just notice when we're running this way, we are jumping over things and we're not going over electric. That electric will hurt you a lot. You will get hit by like mortars as well. That will stagger you. You can't climb when you're staggered. It's very annoying. But again, with this build, if I'm going to recreate this build just for this encounter, I'm going to throw loads of Hasbro on it, armor regen, make it even more invincible. But this gameplay is going to show you how invincible it is anyway. We're back here. We've got a Chunga this time to deal with. He is an elite, so don't worry about him. He won't kill you as long as your armor is full. Hit that switch and run straight back out. He has hit me about 3 or 4 times, and he didn't even break the armor, so we're good. And I'll get heals again now. We need to hit switch number 2 at this point, so we're going to go and hit switch number 2, and then we've got one more to do. This is the hardest part of your role, and you can see how easy it is. Now we're going to run in and we're going to do exactly the same again. We're going to hit this button to get the credentials, and then we're going to go again to the other side for one final time. This is no different than the first time. The Chunga spawn in there, so try and keep as much armor as you can. Don't run over electric. You can see the route that I'm taking here. As annoying as the disorient is, the amount of times I'm running past electric, by the way, and that will hit and it'll disorient take me into it is unbelievable. Normally this one right here. But anyway, we keep on going, and we're nearly there. We've got 15 seconds. The quick step makes this so easy, like I said. If you want to get the quick step, then I believe if someone's got a houndsman bounty, they can still help you farm it. But yeah, third one's done. We've got one more button to hit, and we are on to the next phase. And the third button is all the way further down here. You cannot hit these in any order. You've got to hit them in the order we've just done it in every single time. But that's the third one. Now, this starts now the final phase. Now, we just got to clear all the ads. It won't start until you secure the area. But once we've done that and we've cleared the ads, the boss is going to spawn. Now, what's going to happen when the boss spawns? I'm going to explain the mechanic here, what the team are trying to do. The boss will spawn. The boss can be quite annoying, but it's healing itself all the time. You got to break its healing. It's the helmet you got to break, and I believe a few things on the backpack. There's a weak point on the backpack. Once you've done the helmet and you've done the backpack, you start doing damage. You won't be able to heal. However, the boss has 4 supply crates where you can get the heals back. And you got to destroy those 4 supply crates so they can't get no heals back. Once you've done that, you can kill them. All while you're doing this, ads are going to spawn in at regular intervals, and alarms are going to go off, and there's a pressure gauge on the left hand side of the screen. When the alarms go off, we need to start hitting buttons. You can see that pressure gauge now. You can see the boss is spawning, and if that pressure gauge gets to 100, it's a wipe. So there is a wipe mechanic. So what I'm doing now in this role of the PFE build is hitting all the buttons. There's number 3. It'll be random, and it'll keep on popping up. There'll be an alarm, and if you look out towards the end of the dam, you will see some green lights. If one of them go red, that's also an indicator that it needs sorting, and you need to hit the switch. With this build, I can run along here all day with the heals as well, running through the hive and hit buttons for as long as you want me to. As you can see, I am very, very invincible. That's what we're doing with the build, and the DPS and the healer do not need to worry about any switches. All they gotta worry about is dealing with adds, and then just worry about getting the boss's weak spots done so that we can then get the supply crates that the boss has destroyed. Now, how those supply crates work is once you've done the weak spots on the boss, a chunga is going to spawn in. It'll be a named chunga, and that named chunga will drop some thermite when you kill it. When it drops the thermite, you just pick it up, and I will show you the gameplay of doing it in a moment. I'll show you where they are. They're all in the center there. You can kind of see me running past them now. But in the central area, all within that hive, are the 4 supply crates, and with the thermite, you'll destroy them. This is a rinse and repeat process. You'll keep on doing this until you've got 4 thermites and destroyed all 4 crates. At which point the boss cannot then restock on heals, so you can destroy the heals and kill the boss. That is all we are doing. And you can see how easy this is now. So at this point, I'm just going to switch to DPS. So going back to the start with the DPS here, I've thrown on a St. Elmo's, as you may have just seen. But a Caduceus here would work very, very well. I forgot to mention it on the last boss fight. A Caduceus there is probably where the Caduceus shines. So last boss as well, but here also. As soon as we go out, just be careful of the sniper that is up top. I guess straight under the sniper up top. You might want to kill it on the way instead rather than run straight there. However you want to do it. But once you're here and the heals are down, you are just doing ad control. We know what the PFE person's doing here. They're running back in 2. And they're just doing all the buttons to start off with. The DPS job here is to kill ads and to kill them fast. That's going to be your job throughout the whole encounter though. Even when the boss spawns later, the ads are going to be your main priority because you keep on killing the ads and get them gone quick. You'll have spells where there's no ads and you can just focus the boss, which is brilliant. If you kind of tunnel vision the boss when the boss spawns while ads are around, more ads will keep on spawning in. You'll get overwhelmed. You're going to have to try and do the boss mechanics while ads are shooting you. So my biggest tip here is just to focus ads as DPS as much as you can, because if they're clear, this is really easy work. Now what I'm going to do is just skip forward to the boss spawning now, because you don't need to watch all that. Yeah, just killing ads. But now the boss is spawned, you can kind of see I'm tunnel visioning it a little bit here. Again, some of the tips I give you in this video are what we've learned in the process of doing all this and getting the footage. But notice how I'm aiming for the weak spots. I'm aiming for the back. You can see the yellow marker, and you'll see when it cracks. Once you've done the back and once you've done the helmet, the boss is going to go to one of those supply crates. So just keep on shooting. The weak spots are very tanky, but once they've gone, you'll notice the yellow crosshair goes like that on the head there, and they'll start taking much more damage. So yeah, helmet, backpack, and the second you've done both of them, like I've just done, what the boss is going to do is go to one of the supply crates. So they go in there now. There'll be some comms as well, some dialogue. But again, their heals back. That's what they're doing. And they're going to keep on doing that while there's those 4 supply crates there. So I've already explained what we're doing with them. We're just trying to kill ads, kill the weak spots. And once the weak spots are done, we'll get a chunga. So now we have done those weak spots. We're just awaiting the chunga now. So I can show you what that looks like with the thermite drop. We're still working on ads at this point. We're making sure any ad we see is dead, and we're trying to thin the field. So feel free to kill ads first before you do the weak spots, because you will clear the ads. And like I said, you'll have no ads around you. You'll be able to work on the weak spots together. But here's the chunga. This is the first one. You only ever get one of these out once you've destroyed the weak spots and the bosses refresh them. But what they're going to do when they die is drop a thermite. You'll pick the thermite up, and then once you pick it up, anyone can do that. Anyone can then interact with one of these supply crates, and it'll destroy them. That is 1 out of 4. The second one is just behind me now, where I'm in the cover in the center. The third one is on the cover in the center, and the fourth one's the other side, directly opposite from the first one we just did. Keep on repeating this process that I've just shown you as the 2 DPS until all 4 supply crates are gone. Once all 4 supply crates are gone, the boss is not going to be able to get their healing devices back, which is great. So again, stealth focus ads. Don't let ads overwhelm you or overpower you, because you'll get spells of no ads if you do that, and that'll be a great time to tunnel vision the boss at that point. Yeah, the boss can be annoying, it can come close to you and things like that, but whoever's got the aggro can try and drag them away though. So we are now on that phase of killing the boss. You can see, oh, we might have one more to go actually. So I've just skipped it forward a little bit more, and I think the boss is now taking full on damage. So we are on boss damage phase now. You see how hectic it is, because we are all kind of tunnel visioning the boss as the 2 DPS. Here's a restock, by the way, in the middle of the area. It's best if you let your PFE person with the buttons open that, so whenever you need it, you can just run over and pick it up without having to interact. Now we're doing damage to the boss. We are in a little bit of a pickle because we haven't taken care of the ads as good as we should. Well, but we're getting there. We're getting the ads gone. We're in a position now where there are no ads, I believe, and we can actually do some sustained damage. The ads will come back though, be wary of that. But she is quite tanky. You are going to have to do quite a lot of damage. I kind of want to use the backfire for this bit to drain it a little bit more, but the backfire really isn't for this fight. Maybe at this bit, switch to your backfire hot swap if you want to, but it's not too difficult now. Some more ads have just spawned in, so at this point, what we should be doing as DPS is getting them gone. I just retreated there a little bit, but yeah, the aim now is just to keep the ads clear, not overwhelm you, and keep on damaging the boss until the boss is dead. I am going to show you the rest of this though, so you can see that happen. And once the boss is dead, all you got to do then is clear the area of any remaining ads, and you are finished. You have completed the incursion. And we're not far away from that now. We can see that Marguerite Steel only has 1 bar of armor left. As soon as that's gone, health is going to drain, and that's it. We are done. Just a few ads to clear. They are done. So now let's talk about the exotic. Every single boss I've cleared in this incursion should have a chance to drop in the brand new exotic, which is the exotic rifle. I think it's 1% every single time you clear the incursion, you got that chance. People are farming the first boss over and over in hopes that it happens there. I'm not sure it can. Might not be that it can drop from every boss, but it's a very low chance. Once every week, you will get a key for completing this. You can come to this door here to find the chest. And I can't show you me interact with that chest because I was stupid and stopped recording when I was recording the footage. But that chest that you just see for a split second when you open it with your key has a 10% chance of giving you the brand new exotic from this incursion. If you'll always get a exotic, so don't get too excited by that. If you see 2 exotics, it'll be it. That's 10% chance per open. So if you got 1 key, you can open it once. If you got multiple keys, you can keep on opening, and you'll get 10% chance every time. How can you have multiple teams, you ask? Well, sorry, multiple keys, you ask. Well, basically, if you run the incursion each week but don't open it, they'll stack up. You can stack a few and open it multiple times. Some people like doing that. But yeah, that's how you get the new exotic out of that chest. Pretty much a 10% chance, but you can also see it on a boss, and if you do, it's a much lower rate. But you can keep on farming this over and over and over for that chance, though. Whereas the box at the end requires a key. Just ending off here with some healer footage of this area. This is where the healer is. This is where the hive is, and just got to cam people. It's really easy as the healer here. And remember, you got BTSU. You can overcharge whenever you want and get those stacks back on your hive, or do overcharge camps if you need to. But I think that's everything I've got for you. That's every tip and how we completed the incursion this week for the first time and a few times after. We're building more tips daily. I said at the very start of the video, I'm guaranteeing our first flawless in my next stream. I am that confident. We are going to advance these even further. I've already got a video out on the channel of all the 30 bears that you can get. Not bears, sorry. 30 beavers you can find in this incursion. If you shoot all 30 on your run, you'll get a beaver backpack trophy. I think it's called Steely. So bear that in mind. Check the channel out for that. When I do the complete guide for this, I'll include all of them in it. It'll be a full-on complete guide giving you everything you could ever know about this incursion. I am working on it to get our strategies better and whatnot. I'll do a separate collectible video as well for the collectibles. A worthy mention is the secret one that people are struggling with. So in the area where you do the patrol, I've got no footage, sorry, but in the area you do not the patrol, but the where you're with Patch and you're escorting Patch, you'll notice a police car. There'll be a collectible on the map on the radar, and there'll be a police car, and you wonder how you get it. Well, when you are turning the power off to the crane there, if you remember when we were showing you that earlier, you got to hit the 2 switches. The switch the healer hits, in that room is a locker with a padlock on. You shoot that padlock, you pick up the patrol car key, you take it to where the collectible shows on the radar, where there's a police car in the water. You interact with the boot, it'll open, you'll get the last collectible. I say last because that's most people's last right now. Every other is quite simple, some are a little bit puzzly but nothing too bad. I'll have a whole video covering that though over the next few days, and yeah, I'll be back with a complete guide as soon as it can be, with definitely updated builds, even if it's just a PFE build, probably using Caduceus a little bit more, and hopefully a little bit of improvement on some of the strategies I've talked about today and how we get things done. But I do hope it's been helpful. I know a lot of people have been waiting a while for this video. I say a while, we're only on day 3 as this launches, I think, but it's felt like a while, you know. I think I could have, some people expected it out the first night or the second day. We put a lot of work into it though, and I'll be putting a lot of work into the complete guide when that comes out also. So make sure you subscribe, you got the bell on so you know when that drops, or you're in the Discord and you get my everyone or my pings in there for my content, and you will not miss it. Please like the video as well. It's got a lot to make this for you today. I'd appreciate the likes, comments, support, anything you can give. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave it there. That is how we cleared the new Broken Rain Incursion on the Division 2 with a complete how-to guide to come for much more efficiency. Thank you for watching, and until next time, good luck and take care.